Mr. Chairman, your meeting is live.
I'll bring this meeting to order. Senate Appropriations Committee and roll call.
Senator Driscoll.
Here.
Senator French.
Here.
Senator Carew. Senator Larson. And Chairman Salzar.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, you have a quorum.
First thing, House Bill 34.
To the cloud, record the cloud.
Welcome both of you.
All right, thank you, Chairman. Members, my name is Kelly Norris. I'm the Wyoming State Forester, and I'll pass it over.
Mr. Chairman, I'm David Swindell, the Executive Director of the Wyoming Retirement System.
So House Bill 34, Firefighter Retirement Plans. This is sponsored by Joint Appropriations, and really what this does is help provide competitive benefits to make firefighter retention a lot more competitive within the state of Wyoming. I have provided the committee with a handout that compares federal compensation benefits as well as other Western states that are provided here. So outside of that, this one will move our Forestry Conservation Program employees into the Law Enforcement Retirement Plan and full-time and temporary wildland firefighter employees to enroll in the Wyoming National Guard Firefighter Retirement Plan. With that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Mr. Chair, Jason Coyle, Laramie County Fire Authority Fire Chief, representing the Rural Firefighters Association and the Wyoming Fire Chiefs Association. Just want to express our support. We understand the challenges in recruiting and retaining firefighters in our state. Obviously, being in Laramie County, we compete with 2 neighboring states every day on that, and this bill helps the Wyoming State Forestry be competitive in our community. So thank you.
Roll call vote for House Bill 34 engrossed. Senator Driscoll. Senator French. Senator Carew. Senator Larson, and Chairman Salzar. Mr. Chairman, you do pass. 2 ayes and 1 no.
All right, thank you, Chairman. This is House Bill 35. My name is Kelly Norris, Wyoming State Forester again. This is sponsored by Joint Appropriations Committee. This is firefighter paid leave and hazard pay. Again, this is having to do with the lack of competitive benefits when it comes to wildland firefighters. What this will do is basically the appropriation will allow for wildland firefighters to go on paid leave consistent with federal standards for wildland firefighters, as well as providing when we're in hazardous conditions in accordance with the federal standards for firefighter hazard pay. And outside of that, state forestry assumes all firefighting positions will be filled and firefighters employed will be working for a portion of their time in conditions that meet the hazard pay requirements. And I'll open it up to any questions the committee may have. Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chair, thank you. Jason Coyle, Laramie County Fire Authority Fire Chief, representing Rural Firefighters Association and the Wyoming State Fire Chiefs. Just to identify the importance of recruiting and retaining our firefighters, we are seeing a decline across the country. This benefit aligns with the federal and national standards and provides an opportunity for us, again, to be competitive in a very diminished workforce environment. Thank you.
Roll call vote on House Bill 35 engrossed. Senator Driscoll? Senator French? Senator Guru?
Aye.
And Chairman Salzar? Mr. Chairman, you have 3 ayes, 1 no, 2 pass.
Next, we have meeting of school facilities.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Catherine Camerati, LSO Budget Fiscal. I'm here to present on House Bill 105 as sponsored by the JAC. The last time this Appropriations Committee saw this bill, they included, and you also have a handout on your desk, they included $237.9 million for major maintenance, of which 1.1 is effective immediately. They reduced 10 million by 8 million for school safety and security to 2 million, and included a project for Campbell #1 transportation facility of 7.4 million. As it passed through the House, the only changes that occurred was an increase of 3 million for school safety and security. So it's half of the Gov's rec, 10 million to 5 million. And they decreased some of the funding for the Campbell #1 transportation facility to 2.65 million. And with that, I'll stand for questions.
Fremont 25 Rendezvous Elementary School, that was held intact, correct?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, can you say it again? I just
Yeah,
didn't hear you.
Fremont 25
Yeah.
Rendezvous Elementary School, that was held intact? Was that funded?
Mr. Chairman, yes.
Thank you. Questions? Any other questions? Yes, Senator Guru.
Thank you. Thank you, Camerati. I want to make sure I had this right. So we went down on the bus barn in Campbell County to 2.65 from 7, and they took the safety money from 2 to 5? Is that what I heard?
Mr. Chairman, Senator Gru, that is correct. They
Okay.
reduced the Campbell Transportation Facility money to 2.65 and increased the school safety security funding.
Yes, please.
But the Gov's rec was 10 on
Mr.
that.
Chairman, for school safety and security, the Gov's rec was 10 million.
Thank you. Thank you.
Other questions? Any other questions? Thank you, appreciate it. Public comment? Any public comment? Welcome.
This is the public we've been waiting for.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee. I'm Del McComey. I'm the director for the State Construction Department. Your LSO staff kind of covered what I was planning on covering with some of the changes. I know this committee heard the original bill when we testified on that in our budget sections with you. And so she did a good job there. We're in support of the changes that were made on the House side on the reduction with from the 7.45 to down to the 2.65. We worked with the brigger of that and worked with the committee to get that adjusted. Within our own funding, we'll make up the difference for that project. So there is one amendment I'd like to try and make for this bill. It's fairly simple, fairly short. It has to do with the 6% unanticipated. This year, that was broke out by project specific. So there was 6% for design, 6% for construction, and 6% for demolition. Traditionally, that's always been 6% for the projects as a whole, so we can draw whatever percentage we need out of that overall funding. My concern is by breaking that out into those individual sections, what it does is, for example, on demolition, we have 2 demolition projects. They're not big dollars there, but we're only looking at a little over $100 and some thousand. And particularly in demolition, where you could get in to find a piece of asbestos or whatever mastic on the foundation, you can eat that up pretty quick. Where in the past, we'd be able to draw from the bigger pool there. So, Mr. Chairman, I can pull that up real quick. That is found on page 11 would be where the changes would be. And what I would propose is that after on line 4, page, yes.
I'll consider that from a member of the committee, so,
Okay,
I'll be bringing it, so.
no, he's
okay.
gonna,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'll get with Senator Grew. Yeah.
let's continue your
Okay,
presentation. on the-
thank you. So what we would do is, we would end up with putting a period after on line 4, 7.642, 7,642,895. Put a period there, and then section A, starting on line 7, you just eliminate that. And then section B, starting on page, or on line 11, you would just simply eliminate that section. And then section C, on 17, line 17, you'd eliminate that. So that's where it broke it out into those actual dollar amounts. So previously, it would have, the bills in the past have always just ended where we put that period after that dollar amount. And then we can use that to float amongst design, construction, and the other.
Yes, Senator Grew.
Mr. Chairman, first up to start with an apology to you. The good director and I had a little chat about this, and I know that is not the custom for folks outside the committee to bring the amendment. He started to bring it to me, and I asked him,
That's fine.
would you please say it, because I'll botch it. And so I was channeling to him to do that, so
That's
I'm
fine.
trying to keep
That's
it all
fine.
straight, so that was the.
We'll take care of it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I have some questions. Well, do you have anything else? You'd like to-
No, Mr. Chairman, that's all I
Okay,
have.
so let's talk about Fremont 25 rendezvous. 29.9, my question to you is that enough? Will that complete, is that something that will take care of it?
Mr. Chairman, Shelby Carlson, School Facilities Division Administrator of the State Construction Department. Yes, we've worked those dollars very closely with the district. We actually gave them some additional square footage, especially for special education space that they need there. And then we've worked those dollars. We get the dollars that come in from our consultant, and then we pull those dollars in, put them into our project cost calculator, add all the soft costs. We have inflated that out to when we anticipate construction to occur. And so we should have adequate funding. We do then have the 6% to back it up if we run into something unforeseen when we get under construction.
Good, that's good information. And then when do you foresee construction to begin, and when would it possibly be finished?
Mr. Chairman, so if we get the money in July, we could probably be under construction 27, maybe early 28, depending on how that design goes.
And then how long does that, something like that?
Probably 2 to 3 years, probably
3
2.
years.
It's a
Okay.
smaller project, so.
Okay. Thank you. Other questions? Senator Guru.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Now you got that nice big sheet you gave us. Thank you. Hope people like it. We took the safety money from 10 down to 2 or 3, and now we put it back to 5. Is that, I mean, that's where we're at right now. Is that where we should be? You asked for 10. That was the recommendation. Are you feeling okay with 5? But I mean, it kind of just goes back to the good chairman's question. And when we eliminate those dollars, it kind of tightens everything up on projects like the good senator's talking about. So talk to me about the 5.
Mr. Chairman, during the process of when this was worked originally on the House side, it was reduced from the 10 to the 2, I believe, simply to offset the difference of the 7.5 million that was added. So they were trying to keep it revenue neutral. And now it's been reduced back down, and it's not revenue neutral, it's actually a little bit lower. We explained, I think, to this committee the history behind that. Where it was set at 10 was our recommendation to move through. The select committee actually felt that that it was a little bit of a slush fund. When we asked for 10, they wanted to know specific projects. So we reached out to the districts, got their 2 highest priorities. Not all the districts responded. I think about 40 of the 48, which is extremely good compared to the response we generally get. So there's a lot of interest in this from the districts. And it's more in the $35, $38 million range is what they forecast their 2 highest priorities from each of the districts, so.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, yeah, I remember that conversation very well. And you did say it correctly. At the time, the raise about the bus barn in Gillette was offset by a cut to this. And that's a dangerous game. I know in Washington, when they're all in deficit spending, offsets are all the key. This is all money that's been appropriated. This is money that's been budgeted. We're not offsetting here. And if we start down this road, now we're going to start, if we give the violage to this, we're going to set us down a road where we're going to pit big districts against small district, or powerful representation versus not as powerful representation, and who gets money. And that's what we've been desperately trying to get away from. That's what school facilities is all about. That's what, so I resist that whole notion of, oh, we found an offset. So, and I'd hate to be on the other side of that when somebody came and said, I took the money from your school district to give it to my school district because we needed an offset that we don't need. So I just want to kind of make that statement. So thank you.
No, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, my name is Kelly Little. I'm with the Associated General Contractors of Wyoming. We are in support of this bill. I just want to thank this committee, the select committee, and the department for doing all the hard work over the interim, putting these numbers together. It feels like a really good bill. I will say we're very supportive of the major maintenance funding that's in this bill. I don't know that it's been the tradition to have it all together like this. Usually that's in the budget, and so we appreciate the support on that major maintenance particularly. And with that, I'd stand for questions. Of course, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On page 11, line 4, if you put a period after the number 7,642,895 and delete the rest of the line 4 and part of line 5, then delete section A, lines 7 through 9, section B on lines 11 through 15, and section C on 17 through 19, all on page 11.
Okay, sorry. Second, any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, carried. Any other changes, amendments, comments? Senator Guru?
Mr. Chairman, Catherine, I'm needing your help on this one. If I want to put that back to 10 million in the safety money, where in here do I find it? I was looking real quick, I didn't see it.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Guru, I believe all of the action happens on page 12, line 17.
Oh, page 12, line 17, where the action is, huh? Yes. Mr. Chairman?
Yes, please.
On page 12, line 17, change the, after the words projects, on line 17, change that 5 million to 10.
Okay, we have Motion, is there a second? There's a second. Any discussion?
Just once again, Mr. Chairman, if I might.
Yes.
Thank you. This safety money is used, it goes out to all the school districts and is going to be needed. And just, as we do with all school funding, if we fund it properly, the way the professionals ask for it, there'll be less gaming of the system or people trying to figure out ways to get around it to get to that money. So we fund it, we tell them to play it straight and let the professionals do their job. Vote aye. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, roll call vote on House Bill 105 engrossed as amended. Senator Driscoll. Aye. Senator French. Aye. Senator Guru.
Aye.
Senator Larson.
Aye.
And Chairman Salzar.
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 ayes, do pass amended on House Bill 105 engrossed.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee. My name is Dalton Quilty with LSO Budget Fiscal. I am prepared to discuss House Bill 107 engrossed in depth or provide a more brief overview highlighting some of the major changes from previous iterations at the discretion of the committee. Broad strokes. Beautiful. Mr. Chairman, committee, if you'd flip to slide 6 in that handout that I provided before the meeting, it should be titled Proposed Changes from HB 107 engrossed. So there's really 4 major changes with this bill from previous iterations of this model. The first is the codification of the model for local government direct distributions and the formula under which these distributions are calculated beginning in fiscal year 2027. The second and probably most significant portion of it is it replaces the current legislatively determined biennial appropriation with a dedicated transfer equal to 7% of the prior fiscal year's statewide sales and use tax revenues. These funds would flow from the general fund to the Office of State Lands and Investment for allocation, requiring local governments to estimate expected revenues when creating their budgets. It also matches the calculation timings for sales and use taxes to the new funding mechanism by using sales and use tax data from the immediately preceding fiscal year as opposed to the 2-year delay that is in the current model. And the final thing it does is changes the dates of the distributions of payments from August and January 15th to October and March 15th. And those are really the major changes, but I would stand for any questions.
Yeah, can you, some of this is just like gobbledygook. Page 3, start up there, line 1, 2/3 of 89% of the total amount of the direct distribution to, that have 5% of the amount, good grief. What, in layman's terms, what does all that mean?
Mr.
Yeah,
Chairman,
but,
through you, thank you, Senator French. If you'd flip to slide 3 of the presentation, it'll kind of break out the numbers. So what that boils down to is municipalities end up with about 64.83% of the total distribution, whereas counties end up with about 35.17% of that distribution. And so really, we're taking 2/3 of 89%, and that leaves the using 89%, we leave that 11% kind of floating, and so dividing that by 2 gets you the 5.5, which is added to the 2/3 of 89%. But it does boil down to 64.83% for municipalities and 35.17% of the total for counties.
Other questions? Senator Larson.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. So the 7% is new, I'm guessing. And so that anticipated 146 million from that 7% is kind of the numbers. And what are we currently?
Through you, Mr. Chairman, Senator Larson. So currently, for the 2025-2026 biennium, the appropriation was $146,250,000. The way that House Bill 107 was originally written was to set it at 5.6%. This was later amended up to that 7%. There would be some fluctuations year to year because we're basing it on the previous year's sales and use taxes, but at 7%, for 2027, we estimate about $65.1 million, and in 2028's distribution, about $67.1 million.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. So the total will be about 132-ish.
Mr. Chairman, Senator Larson, that is correct.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, I'm Ashley Harpstreet, the Executive Director for Wyoming Association of Municipalities. I represent all 99 communities throughout our state. That's the fabric of our state. They serve 68% of the residents that reside in them, but 100% of the tourism, visitors, businesses, and residents that go in to use their services. I'm here today joined by our president of our board, Pinedale Mayor Matt Murdock, and then also one of our esteemed colleagues that sits on our legislative leadership chair that I could not live without, Mr. Kyle Butterfield, who's the city manager that Riverton is oh so lucky to have. Yeah, very esteemed.
Thank you. We are just here in support of this. I think, we have for so many years, Mr. Chairman, Matt Murdock, Mayor of Pinedale, sorry, just for the record, President of WHAM. I think many of us who've been dealing with state issues for a while are tired of the biennium or biennial argument or fight that we get into on how large the direct distribution should be. Codifying this on a sales tax, still using the formula, makes absolute sense. Gives us the ability to have predictability and stability, and it's grounded already, as I said, in the existing formula. We can plan around that. I think one of the things that should be noted, and I think members of this committee know this very well, the direct distribution is really useful for different communities and not so much others. Town of Pinedale receives about 10% of our revenue from direct distribution. Riverton, on the other hand, is a much larger portion. So in the effort of we want to make sure that the communities that are hardest hit are definitely protected. So we're grateful for this. We are super excited. We'd love to see that number go up a bit more. From the perspective of inflationary costs are always there and things are going to be more expensive. But the nice thing with falling sales tax is it also tracks with how things are going as well. So I will leave the details of that into both Ashley and Jeremiah's discussion. They've been mostly involved in this. But if you have any questions, happy to answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So are you, everybody involved good with, when the economy's good, you'll make a little more. And if it goes into a recession or things go bad, you're going to get less. So are you good with this 7? And then that unpredictability, could be really good some years.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, through you, to Senator French. Senator French, you're not wrong. Exactly. The fluctuations of the market and the economy are going to be more dictated within that than that. But one of the things, I've been involved now in the state politics for quite some time, and one of the things I dislike most is that it becomes so contentious between the state legislature and the towns and the counties. It feels like we have to beg you for direct distribution when we all know that this was meant to refill things that were lost. I don't like riding the roller coaster, to your point, Mr. Senator, but I do know, Mr. Senator French, but I do know that actually being able to have something more predictable, we'll be able to see what things are, is much easier for us to plan around, and that's much more stable than it would be to say, oh, we have to go and lobby and try to get our 130 this year or 150 next year, and it just is very difficult. So yes, we are comfortable with that. I'd be much more comfortable with 8%, I think, as Senator Larson discovered, 132 million on the current proposal. A little light. I'd like to see it a little higher. As I said, 8% would be nicer. Just gives us that bandwidth, and it's a little bit right where we're at the moment.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. You pretty much answered where I was going to go to, is if 8% would be a little closer to doing. I'll be bringing an amendment to bring this to 8, and I wanted to see if that fits better. Obviously, you're not going to turn down more, but is 8 adequate, and does it fit in the middle of it? So I just need a little bit. We're going to have to defend what we do both in the committee and on the floor. And mine is this, is you talk about the backfill, is I wasn't in the legislature, but it's close, and I watched us take a lot of these taxes away, i.e. in my community, you know, we exempt a lot of ag stuff out, and we take groceries out.
right.
And then you come to a town, and I'll use mine by name here, is you go to Hewlett, Sundance, or Moorcroft, and a vast majority of the money they got came out of the grocery store. And so you left us with a tough deal, and I'm wanting to make sure that 8 comes a little closer to getting them back to where they can do it, because we're right on the edge in some of these smaller towns. They can't hardly fix a water line leak anymore, and I have great feeling for them. It's people on fixed income, because that's what we've done to you. We don't let you raise taxes, so we like it when you come beg from us.
Mr. Chairman, through you to Senator Driscoll, I ditto. Yeah, I echo your remarks exactly. We don't like coming to beg, but 8% is definitely the better number. We recognize that there are other discussions where funding can come, and so we want to make certain that all of this is balanced, whether it be consensus block funding, which is also under discussion, as well as the direct distribution through the sales tax. So we don't want to come in here and ask for like a large amount and then find ourselves being hit on the other side. So we want to be reasonable. 8% is a number that I know I'm comfortable with, WAM is comfortable with. So I appreciate your concern there, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, because I think the 8% was the request from the WCCA. They were happy with that amount, I guess. They can speak for themselves, but if I recall, that was their request, was the 8.
Mr. Chairman, Senator French, that was the joint proposal that WCCA and WAM worked super hard to get to together. And Jeremiah, I'm sure, will testify about when we have messed with numbers or distribution formulas, everybody gets a little anxious. So this was a very big kumbaya moment for us, so.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. I firmly believe that we don't need to prolong meetings. I believe my colleagues have spoken well, and I'll just state for the city of Riverton, these funds are important as they support our infrastructure, and then also services like law enforcement. We particularly have focused on our law enforcement effort over the last few years, and the direct distribution monies have been helpful in that regard, replacing police vehicles and then also adjusting our salaries. So this proposal to go to 8% is helpful for us, and we appreciate your work.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, yes, it's 7%. Our initial proposal to you that we spoke on Du Bois about was 8%.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm Jeremiah Riemann here on behalf of the County Commissioners Association. I want to thank you for your work on this issue. It is deeply appreciated by me and my members, and I appreciate Senator French for kind of giving us the genesis of this idea and our ability to bring it forward. It is true we continue to advocate for 8%. When I ran the numbers back in May and June of last year, $146 million at the time equated to something between 7.5 and 8%. So I simply just rounded up to the 8%. And, you know, the 7% as it stands is appreciated, but it does represent a cut. And to get to the fluctuations that you were talking about, Senator French, having that 8% will help to insulate a bit against that at least going into this next biennium. We appreciate that there will be times where it could come down, but that's no different than what we would probably see if we came to you. With that, Mr. Chairman, I have a, looks like, sir.
Just a comment, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, when I was county commissioner, I did not like coming down here and begging for our own money. It just seemed wrong to me. I mean, to come down and every administration had a different view of it. So it was like 90 million, 100, 110, 105. Just never knew. It was crazy. And just a comment, shouldn't have to beg for our own money.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I want to really prioritize, I've got a couple of members out remotely. If we could bring them in, I will stop my comments there. But I do have at least 2 counties, and I've asked them to be very brief with you if you're okay with that.
They should be coming on here pretty soon. Deb Kraft declined to be promoted to a panelist. I have Ed Wagner.
Okay, Mr. Wagner, please go ahead.
I would ask that each of them turn their microphones on and their cameras.
Mr. Wagner, please go ahead.
Okay. Mr. Wagner, do you want to go ahead?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to us today. I'll be very brief. The discussion from the 7 to the 8%, the 8% would be very helpful to us. With the downturn in our property taxes, the direct distribution is almost becoming a survival tool for us. We are one of the more challenged counties financially. So we would greatly appreciate it. And I would stand for any questions. I'm keeping it brief for you guys.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, appreciate your testimony. Who's next?
Deb Kraft is next.
Okay, please go ahead. I'm afraid we can't hear you. I think we're still having difficulty hearing you.
Mr. Chairman, being respectful of your time, of course, they're going to be incredibly supportive of this,
Yeah,
and I'd be happy to get you other testimony.
That would be fine. That would be fine. Good. I'm not sure what the problem was, but I'm going to assume that they were very supportive of this bill. So I apologize.
Mr. Chairman, she has declined to testify.
Okay, well, I appreciate, any other public comment on this issue? Okay. So committee, what is your pleasure? Move the bill. Second. Any discussion? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'll have staff put it in where it goes, but move from 7% to 8%. on the distribution. I think it can track in, everybody understands it.
I'll second that.
You'll second that? Discussion? Any discussion? Roll call on the, no, there's an amendment. All those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. So that passes. Anything else? Yes, Senator Guru.
Just a quick comment. Even with the amendment, this is kind of bills like we're building the plane while we're flying it. We still don't know. There's a lot we don't know. We don't know we don't know the implications of any tax bills that we're going to take up. We don't even, I mean, we're going to bring up other things on amendments in the budget today that may affect this. It may not, I don't know. But I think it's best to go to the body, to our body with that. I mean, I'm grateful that the House, and we said this, the governor said it in his letter, that 5% was a floor. I'm glad to see the House did what they did, but they too didn't have as much information as we have today. And we're gonna have more information as we go. So this is gonna be one that we're all gonna have to keep an eye on. But I think it's a lot closer now to where, and now back to the original proposition. So I'll be an aye, thank you.
Other comments? Yes, Senator Larson, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not real excited to have it go to 8. Just wanted to present it to the body, I guess, but I would prefer 7. But that's my thoughts. I'll be an aye vote here.
Other comments? I think the only thing that I would say is this certainly gives you stability. I don't know how you do a budget when you're coming in, so often, and you don't even know what the answer is. So I really think this is a good move. Just one caution, though. It's great in normal times, but if we have another COVID, if we have a serious downturn, you will have to come to the state in an emergency. And I pray that that is not going to be the future of our world, but it could happen. So, roll call.
Mr. Chairman, roll call vote on House Bill 107 engrossed as amended. Senator Driscoll? Aye. Senator French? Aye. Senator Guru?
Aye.
Senator Larson?
Aye.
And Chairman Salzar?
Aye.
Mr. Chairman, you have 5 ayes, do pass amended.
Okay, does that clear the docket, I think, for today? Appreciate the committee, and we'll stand it.